Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to Super Sponsor Saturday. My name is Oliinka Odenerin, and I am the founder of Black Women Blockchain Council, who is hosting the International Women of Blockchain event. We've been hosting this event all month long, live streaming to you all month long, starting from March 1st. March 1st, we opened up with the NFT Tuesdays, and we've been here for 19 days, and we're going to go all the way to the 31st. We're very excited to be able to showcase various women across this ecosystem. You guys got to tap into so many different women who are involved in so many different use cases of the blockchain technology, including women who are rolling up their sleeves and getting involved in building these decentralized ledger technologies. I've been really excited to be able to showcase these ladies to you. I have wonderful teams around me, and I really appreciate the ladies that have signed up from the beginning and are still here with us. Thank you all for joining. Today is Super Sponsor Saturday. And for Super Sponsor Saturday, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to go ahead and give you an introduction to wallets. What are wallets? So this is your Wallet 101 introduction. If you've already have a wallet, I think it's good that you guys stay and get some more insights about what wallets are. If you don't have a wallet, well, you're in the right place. You're going to understand the different type of wallets. And we may even be able to walk through how to establish and create some of your wallets. It's important to have the solid foundation before you enter the space. That's why we promote education. And that's why majority of the community are all about educating everyone that's onboarding. It's very much important that everyone gets educated to the proper metrics or proper steps in order for you to be able to navigate safely in this space. One of the main important things that you guys need to understand is that this space promotes self-sovereignty. That means that you are in control of your data. Self-sovereignty is very important, and you need to have that mindset. So just imagine if you're in control of your data, how would you navigate? Would you just navigate recklessly through this space, or would you take some caution and really consider security to be your number one step? I hope that you would take security to be your number one step. And if you don't know how to take security to be your number one step, we're going to go over some of the security measures that you should start thinking about when you're navigating through this space. It's important that you have a security mindset from the onset, because there's a lot of nefarious individuals in this space that are intended on making sure that they separate you from the assets that you're building. And we don't want that to happen. So when you're navigating through this space, security has to be number one. And so with that, we're going to start Wallet 101. Bear with me while I share my screen with you. All right. So Wallet 101 starts with what is the difference between a hot wallet and a cold wallet? So a hot wallet is any wallet that's connected to the internet. When a wallet is connected to the internet, it basically means it gives you easy access to that wallet. Guess what? It's not just giving you easy access to the wallet, it's also giving a third party easy access to the wallet as well. So you want to make sure that you understand the difference between a hot wallet and a cold wallet. So a hot wallet, as I mentioned, gives you easy access because it's connected to the internet. In order for you to be able to access that wallet, you need to be able to go on the internet, type in that wallet, the wallet platform, and be able to type in your password in order to access that wallet. Well, we all know that the internet, it's not entirely safe, right? We all know that so many different individuals are on the internet. A lot of the times, there's a lot of nefarious individuals or bad actors that are on the internet with the intentions of stealing. And what they do is that they know how to navigate through this internet space because they're anonymous. And when they're anonymous, they're able to travel in ways that normally, if someone knew who they were, they wouldn't. So the internet gives a lot of individuals access to every and anything that's connected to the internet. So when your wallet is connected to the internet, it's most likely there is a chance that the nefarious individual can gain access through various tricks and tips that they put together. Some of them are social engineering, which you guys probably heard of phishing. Phishing are ways that an individual can get another individual to act in a way that they normally would not behave. So phishing are typically coming through emails. Like someone is sending you an email that basically says, hey, I need you to provide me with your seed phrase or your private key. And when you provide that information, you're giving access to that person unwillingly. And so we want to make sure that you guys understand the difference first. So the cold wallet, they're cold because they are detached from the internet. Cold wallets typically allows you to store it in areas of your own choosing. They are typically hardware wallets or physical wallets that you can carry around anywhere with you. Now, a lot of people like to say, including myself, that the ultimate cold wallet is pen and paper because I have control of that pen and paper. Whatever I do with that pen and paper, the vulnerability lies on me. Whenever I'm connected to the hot wallet, the vulnerability lies on myself as well as other individuals that may have access to the internet. When it's a cold wallet, the vulnerability lies on myself and being able to secure that cold wallet. So you want to know the difference. Hot wallet connected to the internet, cold wallet is detached from the internet. So there's a lot of cold wallets devices that are out there, and we call them hardware wallets. Hardware wallets are the Ledger wallet, and Trezor, as well as other hardware wallets that you may have. I actually have a Ledger. I have a Ledger Nano, and the Ledger Nano allows me to store all kinds of cryptocurrencies as well as NFTs on this device. So it gives me easy access to my asset that I'm creating. A wallet is very important when you navigate through this space. It's the way that you're storing your assets as you accumulate them, whether it's NFTs, whether it's cryptocurrencies, etc. So you want to make sure that your wallet, you have a mindset that it's your bank. You are traveling around with your own individual bank. And when you're navigating through this space with your own individual bank, it's important for you to have that mindset of security. So security is very important in this space. Now, by design, the technology itself that's bringing us all of these wallets, everything within the space is designed with security in mind. But however, human beings, we're the vulnerability that's introduced to the technology. So blockchain itself does have cryptography that's embedded into it. And this cryptography allows the data to be encrypted and decrypted. Your private key allows you to encrypt data when it's in transit. So with the series of hashes or hashes that are built around the data, you are encrypting the data. When it hits its destination, you are then decrypting the data. And so encryption with the private key, decryption with the public key. And also that filters into our wallets. With the wallets, you probably heard of private and public key or seed phrases and the public key. Well, imagine, in order for the cryptography to be built and to make it simple for individuals such as myself and you to be able to utilize it, it's been simplified into a private and a public key. These two keys gives you access to your wallet. However, separately, they have their own components. Separately, the private key will encrypt your wallet and also give you access to the asset in your wallet. The private key, or sometimes known as your seed phrases, are basically the golden key that you need in order to open up your wallet. The public key is really known as a key it's kind of like your home address. You give your home address to the individuals that are delivering packages to you, to the mailman, or to your friends because they're coming to visit you and they need to locate where you are. That's essentially what a public key does. A public key identifies your particular wallet. And that's important for you to understand because a lot of people have been susceptible to hacks or their money being stolen because they gave the wrong keys. So once again, in giving the analogy of a home, your private key is your house key. Your private key allows you to gain access to your entire house. Just like your private key or your seed phrase allows you to gain access to your entire wallet. Your public key is basically the way that an individual can identify you. Remember, we're navigating through this space pseudo-anonymously. And that's important because we are now a series of numbers. You will not know me as Yinka or Oliyinka. You will know me as a series of numbers. And that number allows you to be able to identify which wallet is mine. So that's the difference between a public and a private key. Now, there are several different wallets out there that serve several different purposes, but there are two components that they actually serve, and that's whether it's transactional and a custodial. Now, remember when I told you that there was a hot wallet and a cold wallet? Well, a hot wallet, because it's connected to the internet, should really serve as your transactional wallet. This is a wallet that you use in order to connect to OpenSea, connect to a platform that allows you to purchase cryptocurrencies, connect to a platform that allows you to participate in DAOs or DeFi. That's a transactional wallet. It's connected to the internet and it's connected to third-party sites. What I mean by transactional wallet essentially just means that these wallets serve a purpose to only allow you to do transactions with third-party sites. Now, with that in mind, does it make sense to hold all of your assets in a transactional wallet? No, it does not. Because now you're exposing that transactional wallet to several third-party sites that you cannot guarantee security. And security is very important because those third-party sites can have something that's embedded in them that's unbeknownst to you. So you want to make sure that you do not house all of your assets into a transactional wallet. And that's a wallet that's a hot wallet. Really, you should be considering a custodial wallet. And those custodial wallets are your hardware wallets. It's important to make sure that you have custody of your accounts. That's important. You guys probably heard not your keys, not your cheese, or not your money, or not your crypto. And that's important because what we really mean by that is that when you're using a third-party account or wallet that's been created for you, remember it's centralized to that third party. That third party may give you the ability to create an account or have an account that holds your assets. However, you're now relying on that third party to give you access to your assets. Cybersecurity is very important in this case because cybersecurity is really maintaining the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of your data. As we know, there's a lot of sites, there's a lot of companies that have been susceptible to hacks. And a lot of them have gone down for various reasons, right? So you want to make sure that wherever your assets are maintained, that if it's a transactional wallet, you do not hold a lot of assets in that transactional wallet. Hold only the amount that you need in order to do transactions. And that's what a transactional wallet is. You only hold a small amount of your assets in there in order to do transactions. And then maintain the rest majority of your assets in your custodial account, because then that custodial account it's controlled by you. It's not attached to a third party. You're the one that, once again, may introduce a vulnerability to it, not a third party. So that's very important. I want to make sure that you guys are navigating through this space safely and productively. So With that said, I'm going to see if there's any questions so far. All right. Thank you, everyone in the chat, for joining. There's no questions so far. I'm going to continue with the difference between a hot wallet and a cold wallet. Now, when you establish your wallet, all of your wallets, in order for you to create that wallet, you need to go through a series of processes, and I'll walk you through that with a MetaMask tutorial as well as a Phantom tutorial if we have time. So you will receive a seed phrase when you're starting to create your wallet. These seed phrases, as I mentioned, they are your private key. They are oftentimes a series of words that are rambling or jumbled together. They're random. They do not make sense. Sometimes maybe they do. Maybe a few couple of words do, but ultimately their intention is to not make a sense. What these words serve is a little snippet of encryption or the hashes that are created with the private key. So these seed phrases are very much important because they're ultimately the golden key to your wallet. They actually denote who owns your wallet. So if you have access to a seed phrase, that means you basically have access to the wallet. So the seed phrase you want to keep secure. Now, when I purchased my ledger, I received this box, and within this box, there was my ledger, as well as some instructions and a card. This card allowed me to write down my seed phrase. Now, the seed phrase can be 12 to 26 letters long, and for the ledger is 24. So this seed phrase, basically, I'm supposed to use this flimsy little card to write down my seed phrase. And ultimately, that's what we all do, right? We write it down. But as you can see, you can tear, right? You can tear this seed phrase. So it's not the most secure device or way of storing ultimately the golden key to your wallet. Because if something was to happen, water spills on it, you tear it, it happens to fly away, etc., then you lose access to your seed phrase. And plenty of people have done that, right? And so therefore they lost access to their wallets. So you want to make sure that when you're storing this, that you store it in a secure location, and that you come up with ways to make sure that water or anything that could destroy this card does not does not penetrate it, right? However, we have series of individuals within this space that are actually providing us with resources to help us keep our seed phrase secure. And I'm proud to say that one of our sponsors is Copper Seed Safe. And Copper Seed Safe was able to provide us with the ability to introduce all of y'all to a more secure and safe way of storing your seed phrase. And I'm going to bring up Dean, who's actually our first guy on this series. So, Dean, I'm going to bring you up in just a second. But I'm very excited to have you join us because I think this is very important for us to talk about a secure ways of storing our seed phrase. Good morning, Dean. How are you? You're muted.
I am thrilled, and I am still stumbling over the tech, but thank you very much for having me up here. And yeah, I'm very happy to sponsor. I was struck by the idea that we are the custodians of our own keys. As soon as I learned about crypto, the one thing that jumped out at me is there's no customer service. When I make a wallet to hold coins on a blockchain, I'm given these words one time, and it's bad practice to screenshot them. And we have to keep those words secure because ideally nobody else is going to have those words. And we need to keep them safe, like Yinka was saying. So I had a house fire a while back, and some things made it and some things didn't. And when I thought back to that experience, and I thought to experience that I had with copper, I came up with Copper Seed Safe, which are sheets of copper that you can just write on with a pencil or pen. And it doesn't scratch the copper, it presses in. It's like an embossing, and it becomes permanent. And there's copperseedsafe.com. Take a look at it. And they're fireproof and they're waterproof and they're really easy to use. And you can store them in a book, you can store them in your safe, you can store them in your garden. They're pure copper, they're not going to degrade. You could dig it up years later. So it's a really good way to store these. And if I heard right, there are enough for everybody to get one, which I'm thrilled about. So thank you.
Now, thank you very much. Thank you, Dean. Really appreciate it. And it is very important to be able to secure your seed phrase. You know, I've heard of several different stories about how people have taken elaborate measures to secure their seed phrase, right? What is it? I'm not sure if this is a legend or myth or something, but I did hear that, what is it? The Winklevoss twins, they took some grand measures to secure. They actually divided it up and sprinkled it across the world, right? So that their seed phrase could be, I guess, safe, right? But oftentimes, like when we go through these elaborate measures, you know, we don't consider the future, right? And the future is very important because, you know, we get older, time passes by, we start to forget some things. So it's important that whatever measures that you have in place, you are able to recall it, as well as give instructions to your family members. Should in case something pass away, should in case something happens to you and you happen to pass away. So you want to make sure that they're able to recover that seed phrase, because as we said, the seed phrase is the golden key to your assets. As you're accumulating these assets, you want to make sure that that seed phrase is secure. And Dean, I'm really glad that, you know, you were able to come up and, you know, give us this insight about the Copper Seed Safe. And it's very important for people to be able to use something that's more durable than a piece of paper, right? And as you can see, it's very easy for me to tear this piece of paper. So I encourage you guys to go to copperseedsafe.com and make sure that you look around and, you know, consider purchasing this, because, you know, it's an added a bonus to the ways that you secure your assets. And if you're doing it and starting off on the right foot, then you're definitely going to maintain a good security posture. And that's very much important. Just make sure that you store that seed safe in a place that only you and maybe a trusted loved one can gain access to. All right.
That's all great insight. I just want to sign off with saying thank you. And that bit about making sure that your loved ones can read it and find it is a really important key. And I think there's ways to complicate this that we don't have to. And yeah, good advice. I'm going to keep listening. Thank you.
Thank you, Dean. Appreciate it. All right. So with that information, you know, I'm going to take a break and then set up the slides for the MetaMask. We'll actually go through a live introduction of creating your own wallet and walk through some of the things that you need to focus on as you're creating this wallet. And, you know, I hope that those of you who are joining us provide your comments as well as questions. It's just me today, but you know what? I will do my best to make sure that I address all of your questions along the way. So we'll be back in about 5 minutes.
Hey everyone, Munib here. Today is a really special day in the history of this project. Stacks 2.0 is going live today.
This was a year ago. So much has happened since then. So, Let's take a trip down memory lane.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Stacker Chat. The city of Miami voted this week to actually utilize their Miami Coin proceeds, which is over $4.5 million.
I try to absorb like everything that has happened over the last year or so, which by the way, this year I probably would have said it on some other venue as well. Like, I think when I really look back, like there's so much to be grateful about. Like it's probably like one of the best years for this ecosystem. I don't think I would have asked for anything more from this year.
All right, all right. And thank you all for staying. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I love the comments in the chat, so thank you very much for that. So, MetaMask is an Ethereum-based wallet, right? So every blockchain have their own specific wallet. So every chain has their own wallet. This is because those wallets need to interact with that particular blockchain. So that's why every chain has their own wallets. The good thing about these hardware wallets is that they've actually built it inside that you are able to connect with different chains. So you can store all the different chains in your hardware wallets, which is great because you don't want to have 1,000,001 hardware wallet. You just want to have one, right? Because it's easier for you to be able to keep secure and store in a safe place. So to go to MetaMask, you just type in Meta and then Mask and then IO. Okay. So MetaMask, as I mentioned, it's an Ethereum-based wallet, and this just means that any Ethereum-based coins or cryptocurrencies can be stored in a MetaMask. Ethereum is the layer 1, and there's several different layer 2 cryptocurrencies that are built off of that platform or that the chain. So by going to MetaMask, you can then scroll down, and it's metamask.io. Let me make this screen bigger for myself. So, all right, click on download. And when you're clicking on download, it's basically going to ask you to install. It's automatically going to try to register which browser you're using. But I want to scroll down to the bottom just to let you know that it does give you access to various browsers, right? So you could download it on a Chrome, you could download it on a Firefox, you could download it on a Brave browser, and then of course, Microsoft Edge. I'm using Microsoft Edge because I actually have my own MetaMask wallet, and this particular one is just a instructional wallet. So I'm not going to use it at all, but I'm going to help you go through the process of setting it up for yourself. All right. So while I'm doing that, I'm going to just make sure that you guys can see it better. So I'm going to change the fonts just a little bit better. Okay. Oops. All right, let me go back to it. Don't know what happened. All right, so I'm going to download. As I mentioned, it's going to automatically register which one of the browsers I'm using. So I'm using Edge. So I'm going to go ahead and download, hit on download. But you also want to make sure that you go to the right address. Okay, so it's metamask.io. If you go to .com, that's a nefarious address. I would not advise you to do that. It's .io, okay? So it basically takes me to an add-on. And what happens with all of these browsers is that it's going to add it as an extension to your browser. So that way, whenever you open up the browser, in the upper right-hand corner, or if you're looking at the screen is the right-hand corner, if from the screen's viewpoint, it's left-hand corner. But this section right here where my mouse is essentially where your MetaMask icon will sit, and you guys will be able to see that. Remember, it's a Fox icon. So when you download it, the download is complete. It will basically upload it as an extension to your browser. So one thing that I do encourage people to do is make sure that you understand exactly what you're doing, right? If you choose to participate with purchasing Ethereum or purchasing NFTs from Ethereum platform, then definitely this is what the wallet you want to use. Now, if you don't, you cannot use any other you cannot use a MetaMask to purchase other chain related cryptocurrencies or chain related NFTs. And what that really means is that we have, Solana, we have Bitcoin. And so a MetaMask wallet will not be able to hold a Solana or Bitcoin. And also it will not be able to hold those NFTs from those different chains as well. It only holds the ERC or Ethereum based components. So I encourage all of you to go ahead and read. It's very much important that you read, because one thing about this space is we tell you to what? Do your own research. And that's very important. Even though I'm walking you through this process, I do want you guys to get familiar and understand exactly what you're doing. Because as I said, you are your own bank. And so therefore you want to make sure that you actually understand what you're downloading, why you're downloading it, and what goes into it. So I'm going to click on Get. I get a pop-up that says, do the add MetaMask to Microsoft Edge, and it tells me that the extension can do series of things, which is it can read and change all of your data on all of your websites. Okay. Now that is a concern and an alarm, but in essence, it basically what it's saying is that it will connect to different sites. And I'll walk you through that, and maybe today or maybe some other time. It will display notifications, and it can modify, copy, or paste data. Okay. So you want to add extension. And what happens, as you can see right around here, something is downloading. It's going to go through that process. And then once it's done, you will then see the Fox, okay, on your browser. Okay. There we go. All right. So now we have downloaded our MetaMask initial process to creating our wallet. Okay, so this is not it. It's not, this is too easy to be it, right? Because we're creating a vault. We're creating a bank that's going to hold all of our assets. Okay, so with this bank, you want to go ahead and click on it. Okay, once you click on it, a new browser does open up. I think I clicked on it too many times. So bear with me. Okay, click on Get Started. So now it asks you two questions. So one of the questions really relates to whether or not you already have a MetaMask wallet. Maybe you have a new computer, right? And the old computer, you downloaded the MetaMask extension onto it, and this new computer doesn't have that extension. So you went through that process of downloading that extension. And so now it's asking you, do you have a seed phrase that you already have been provided with? And you can use that seed phrase to recover your wallet that you created previously, or you can start afresh and create a new one. So what I'm going to do is start afresh and create a new one, because this is oftentimes what a lot of people, the steps that you guys will go through. Okay. All right. So I want to make sure that you guys read this entire thing before you agree, as well as the fine prints at the bottom. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and walk you through that process. So help us improve MetaMask. MetaMask would like to gather usage data to better understand how users interact with the extension. This data will be used to continually improve the usability and user experience of our product and Ethereum ecosystem. So MetaMask will always allow you to opt out by settings. Okay, so you can disconnect from a website. Okay, they will send you anonymized click and page view events They will never collect your keys, address, transactions, balances, hashes, or any personal information. That part is very important for you to understand. Because if you go to any social media platform and you type in MetaMask, I'm telling you, the trolls, the scammers, the bad actors, the nefarious individuals, they come out of the woodworks. Next thing you know, you get a request to submit some kind of, a support system is waiting for you. We're traveling in a space that does not have customer service. So you automatically know that those are bad actors. MetaMask will never reach out to you, okay? They will never request for you to provide your keys, your addresses, your personal information. They don't need all that, because guess what? This space is all about you as an individual. You are traveling through this space with pseudo-anonymity as well as self-governance. You are in control of everything. There is no customer service. So I want to make sure that I stress that enough. There is no customer service, okay? So when someone reaches out to you and says, hey, I'm from MetaMask, I can help, trust and believe they are lying, okay? Their intentions are bad. They are bad actors. They're not here to help you, okay? So you want to make sure that you understand that. A lot of people end up having issues with, with something relating to MetaMask, and they think that they can reach out to people and have those individuals help them out. And these bad actors are lying in waiting for people, with questions about MetaMask, and they will go to great length to try to steal your assets. And it has happened to a few people that I know in this space. So you want to make sure that you do not provide pertinent information to these individuals. You don't even interact with them, period, okay? So MetaMask will never collect your full IP address. That means, as you're navigating through this space, they're not in the business of collecting your cookies and that IP address, okay? And they will never sell your data for profit, okay? So that's something to keep in mind as well. So personally, this is a wallet that I'm creating just to go through this test. I'm not creating this for anything more, so I'm going to say no. Okay. So this part, I'm actually going to go ahead and actually take it off screen. So I'm going to take a break, create this, and then come back. Give me 2 minutes. All right, so we're back. All right, so now when it comes to your password, okay, I want to stay here for a second and just let you guys know that it's important that you guys create a password that, one, you will remember, a password that has a security length of 8 characters long plus, right? And you don't use something that other people know that it's your catchphrase or maybe your favorite dog's name or your favorite color, etc. All of those things. You want to make sure that it's something that only you are aware of and there's no traces of what it could potentially be out there. Oftentimes, I like to tell people that when they create their seed phrase, to really consider creating a seed phrase that is not a seed phrase, to create a password that is a phrase that you may know and nobody else knows, but also add characters to it. Characters like the exclamation mark, numbers, add numbers to it as well. Try to come up with creative ways to maybe rewrite something, right? But do not use the same password that you've used for other devices or other platforms, okay? You want to make this particular password very special and only accessible to you, okay? And then another thing is, do not store your password or your seed phrase or your private key on a server, okay? Don't store it on the cloud. Don't store it on your computer. Do not store it on your phone, please, okay? Or your iPad, any devices, do not store it, okay? You guys may not have heard of a recent case or issue or incident that has happened recently where last month, a married couple was actually apprehended because they were tied to a hack that happened in 2016, where hundreds of millions of dollars were stolen. It just so happened to be this couple was apprehended by the FBI solely because the husband or the wife, whatever, decided to store their seed phrase on the cloud, right? On a server on the cloud. Guess what? It's tied to the internet. Guess what? Anybody can have access to it. So in essence, when you think something is secure, really isn't. And so they were able to gain access to all of their assets, right? And also they were able to trace the fact that they were somehow involved in that particular hack. Okay, so that's, a testimony to several things in the space. One, people assume that they could be anonymous in this space, but that's not true. We're dealing with the ledger, and anything about a ledger is that it keeps track. It keeps track and it keeps traces, okay? So they were able to connect the dots and be able to identify who these individuals were. And also, if you store your information on the cloud, on the internet, someone will be able to gain access to it. So you definitely want to make sure that you consider security when you're navigating through this space. So I did enter my password. I would encourage people to look at the terms of use as well, and then create. So then what's going to happen next is that we're now going to go through the process of setting up our seed phrases. So you want to make sure that you get ready to copy that information down. Okay. I'm glad that they actually have this component because this wasn't here when I created mine many moons ago. But it's important for everyone to understand security. As you can see, I've been talking about security, and MetaMask also understand that giving people an introductory lesson on security is very much important. I'm going to try to play this. It's 1 minute and 35 minutes. I think we have enough time, but the title is Secure Your Wallet. Before getting started, watch this short video to learn about your secret recovery phrase, which is your seed phrase, and how to keep your wallet safe. And your seed phrase is your private key.
Metamask is a new way to connect to sites and applications. On traditional websites, a central database or bank is responsible for controlling and recovering your accounts. But on Metamask, all of the power belongs to the holder of a master key. Whoever holds the key controls the accounts. Your secret recovery phrase is your master key. It's a series of 12 words that are generated when you first set up MetaMask, which allow you to recover your wallet and funds if you ever lose access. It's important that you secure your wallet by keeping your secret recovery phrase very safe. and very secret. If anyone gets access to it, they will have the master key to your wallet and can freely access and take all of your funds. To secure your MetaMask wallet, you'll want to safely save your secret recovery phrase. You can write it down, hide it somewhere, put it in a safe deposit box, or use a secure password manager. Some users even engrave their phrase onto a metal plate. Nobody, not even the team at MetaMask, can help you recover your wallet if you lose your secret recovery phrase. If you haven't written down your secret recovery phrase and stored it somewhere safe, do it now. We'll wait. And remember, never share your secret recovery phrase with anyone, not even us. If anyone ever asks you for it, they're trying to scam you. That's it. Now you know what a secret recovery phrase is and how to keep your wallet safe and secure.
Awesome. I'm glad that, they embedded this particular video before you move on to the next step. It's very important that you guys understand that, this is, your vault that you're about to create. And this vault is only accessible to you. So when individuals say that they can create a wallet for you, second guess that, okay? You should be able to create your own wallet. Nobody else should be able to create your wallet for you, because these next step is your seed phrase. That password that was created should be password that's only accessible to you. This seed phrase should be something that's only in your possession. So someone should not give you your seed phrase or say that they will create your wallet. I know a lot of people have, been told that, they can help them walk through the process of creating your wallet. And that's true. Just make sure that they do not have access to seeing you create that wallet. Okay. So there are ways to walk you through, just like what I'm doing right now. Some of you are probably following me through this process, and I encourage that. But, I should not have a bird's eye view of your process. Okay. So next step. Now this is our secret recovery phrase. This is the alpha right now. This is the thing that we've been waiting for, what we really want to know, so that we can say we've established our account. And so this seed phrase, I'm actually going to write it down because it's going to come up later. And mind you, it is 12 characters. It's not like other seed phrase, which may be longer. And so this seed phrase will not be repeated for someone else when they create their wallet. This is a unique seed phrase just for you. So I'm going to reveal it, and you guys will get to see it because, as I said, this is just a test account. I'm not doing anything more with it. It's going to be created, and it's going to be in the air forever, right? So I'm not going to use it. And I don't encourage you guys to use it as well, because I have access to that password. So do not use this. So the first one is session. And then the next one is senior, breeze, exercise, run, pink, grit, bid, tent, prepare, filter, and suggest. Now, these words together mean nothing, but they're significant because these words together are your golden key to having your wallet, okay? These words together, they have to stay in that particular series. They cannot be jumbled together. Senior cannot go first. It always has to be session, followed by senior, followed by breeze. So you want to make sure that you write this down correctly. I've heard of people saying that they split their seed phrase, and in order for them to start planning the to start having the whole family prepare to receive the assets that they're creating, they split their seed phrase between family members. I don't encourage that because you never know, one family member may decide to keep that seed phrase and not share it with the other family members. You know how family goes. Or they may end up putting it in the wrong order. Okay, so these seed phrase has to be in the right order. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and write down what the seed phrase is, because it's gonna get me to go through a series of exercise that's going to have me write what came at this particular order. Okay. All right, so suggest is the last one. Okay, then we click on next. All right, so as I said, it's gonna have me confirm what came in what particular order. So I did write it down, right? So now I know that the first one is session, okay? The next one is senior, okay? The next one is breeze. Then we have exercise. Then we have run. Then we have pink and grit. Then we have bid. Then we have tent, prepare. And for the last two, I'm going to make a mistake, okay? Intentionally, so you guys can see what happens. Okay. As you can see, it does not give me a confirmation, okay? So I need to uncheck those, okay? And then put them in the right order. Perfect. So by allowing me to click on confirm, it basically told me that I did end up putting this in the right order. Make sure you keep your seed phrase, because sometimes with MetaMask, your password may not work. And so in order for you to recover your wallet, you need to be able to enter that seed phrase once again. So congratulations, we actually just created our wallet. Okay, so these are some tips that they are suggesting for safety. Save a backup in multiple places, which is important because you want to make sure that you don't just have one backup, but there's several backups to your seed phrase. There's a story of a guy that actually stored his seed phrase on his computer. And the computer got old and it stopped working. He ended up purchasing a new computer, but then he remembered after throwing it away that his seed phrase was on that computer. So he ends up in the landfill trying to figure out where his computer is. I'm not sure if he was able to gain access to that, but he lost probably right now millions of dollars in cryptocurrencies because he did not store multiple backups of that seed phrase. There's other situations where people have put their seed phrase in a secure device, but can't recall what the password to that device is. And they were looking for people to help them hack that particular device so that they can gain access to the seed phrase. So you do want to make sure that you do store that information in multiple locations. Never, 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 never share that seed phrase with anyone. Can't stress this enough. If you don't trust the person, if they're not part of your family member, don't share it. Even family members, I would be cognizant of who you're sharing it with, because in essence, what you're really doing is saying, here's the golden key to all of the assets that I'm creating here. So you want to make sure that you trust that individual. And also inform and educate that individual to never share that seed phrase with just anyone. When it comes to estate planning, the estate planner wants you, or the attorney wants you to write down all of your assets, right? And all the location of where those assets are. Don't share the seed phrase with the estate planner as well, because the more and more our society gets ingrained into this whole cryptocurrency and blockchain ecosystem that we're building, the more and more people understand what those seed phrases are. So you don't want to just have them out in the open or in a document, an estate planning document. Be careful with phishing. Phishing with MetaMask will never spontaneously ask for your secret recovery phrase, and that's very much important. As I mentioned before, that's ways that people have been successfully able to gain access to people's seed phrases, and you don't want to be able to give that access to just anyone. So remember, MetaMask is not here to give you any customer support. They're not all about that. They're just here to serve a function and to help you establish your wallet, and that's it. There is no follow-up. There is no contact from MetaMask. There is no customer support. Nobody's contacting you, okay? If you need to back up your seed phrase, again, you can find it in settings and security, okay? If you ever have questions or see something fishy, I mentioned that I say MetaMask does not have a support. They do not have a support that's going to help you recover your seed phrase. Okay. What their support is really in relation to their platform, the MetaMask extension. If there's something that's weird with the extension, they want to be notified, because that means that the millions of other people that are using that extension may be susceptible to some kind of issue that you've identified. So you want to notify them if there's technical issues, but not necessarily to recover your account. They can't help you with that. They don't have access to that. There's no back end on their part that gives them access to that information. The seed phrase is yours and yours only. Your password is yours and yours only. Okay. All right. So we click on all done, and then we gain access to how our MetaMask looks, and what we can anticipate. If I had an ethereum or ETH, I would have that right here. This is our MetaMask account. I'm able to change that account name. Now, this is the great part. This right here where it says copy to clipboard, that is my address. That is the public address. This is the address that people are able to identify Yinka, right? They're able to identify which wallet belongs to me. And with this wallet, I can basically give it to, anyone that I want who wants to send me an ETH. So with this wallet, that person will be able to send money or assets directly to that wallet, and I'll be able to receive it. So this is the public key aspect of our wallet. And the public key is your home address. This is my address. This is my home address. This is me advertising that this is the location that I am at. So if you want to deliver or send me money, go ahead and send it there. Okay. So this is the address that I will copy, and then I can paste it anywhere, and it basically will give me that address. So I'm going to paste it here so you guys can see. It's a series of numbers and letters, okay, that identifies with who I am, and that number and letter correlates with your seed phrase or your secret recovery phrase, okay? Those two in conjunction creates your wallets, okay? So this is my private key. Don't send me anything because I'm not going to gain access to anything after this. So that's the private key. And, you can send, if you had money, you can send, you can buy items, you can swap items. And so there's so many things that you can do with this particular wallet now. And then you'll be able to see your activity history. And when I come back, I'll be able to show you my wallet that I actually have activities in, and you'll be able to see that, and we'll go through that. Okay, so let's have a 1-minute break, and I'll be right back. All right, so I wanted to share my other MetaMask, but I realized that for security reasons, it won't actually allow you to see the wallet. But because I'm creating this one and it gives me a user interface that I can show to you guys, you're only able to see this. Unfortunately, there's no transaction, there's no money, but usually where your activities are, you will be able to see money going from your wallet outside to a third party. And so you'll be able to see that transaction where it tells you that it's been sent. If there's something that's pending, it will be listed here. If money did come to you, it will also be listed here. All of your assets will be listed here. If you have an Ethereum or if you have an ETH, that will be listed here. If you have a Matic, that will be listed here. If you have a DAI, that will be listed here, as well as other Ethereum-based cryptocurrencies that will be listed here as well. From here, you are able to, because now you have your MetaMask, you're able to connect to third-party sites, okay? So third-party sites like OpenSea, so we can go to OpenSea.io, and that will allow us to connect. And OpenSea is a marketplace, is an NFT marketplace that allows you to basically sell and purchase NFTs of various kind. I call OpenSea, and I'm sure a lot of people do as well, like the Amazon of the NFT space, right? Because you're able to purchase so many different NFTs from here. And so by being here, I'm able to connect my wallet. And so the way that I do that is it basically just by going into those three dots, I can go ahead and click on connect wallet. And so what happens is that it's looking for which type of wallet. So I tell it that I'm going to connect a MetaMask wallet. That MetaMask wallet interface does pop up. You guys cannot see it on your end, but it does pop up. So make sure your pop-up is available. And that was the issue, that I couldn't share that particular pop-up with you all. So you weren't able to see it, but it does pop up and it automatically connects to your account. And that account, you just have to click on next for it to interact with that account, and then click connect for it to do that. And what ends up happening is that it'll bring you back to OpenSea. And then it's going to ask you to fund it, of course, when you have not funded yet. But I'm not going to fund it. So I'm just going to go to my account. I'm going to explore and see if it actually connected my account to Dee's account. So, if I wanted to go ahead and look at, various artworks, and maybe I'm interested in purchasing a particular artwork, I'll be able to click on it. And then from that particular artwork, my account would already be connected. And so with my account connected, I'll be able to, bid, purchase, etc., that particular artwork. And once that happens, what happens is that I'm creating a transaction, right? So transactions are now happening. And remember, I told you your MetaMask account or any wallets that are basically connected to the internet, the purpose that they serve is for transactional wallet, because they're able to connect to third-party sites and allow you to make purchases and make a transfer, a receipt of that purchase, right? So by doing that, it is allowing you to be able to build your assets. Now, I do want to know, does anybody have any questions? I know that there may be questions in the chat. So let me see. Question. All right, let me bring this question up. So the question is, after a wallet is set up, we'll use our seed phrase if we need to set up that wallet on another device or other cases. Yes. So if you recall, let me go back to, I purposefully created this. So when we get to this stage, remember, when you're setting up your MetaMask on a whole new device that does not already have access to your MetaMask, you will go through that same process. You will download the extension onto that device, onto whatever browser that you have on that device. That particular browser will go through that process that we did earlier, and then it will take you to this particular page. In this page, you can then import your wallet, okay? By clicking on import your wallet, what it's gonna do is ask you for your seed phrase, okay? The same agreements that it asked for us before, you can go ahead and look at that. It goes through the same process. I'm gonna skip that part. And then, actually, it's taking me through creating another seed phrase. But essentially what it does is that it does ask you to enter your recovery phrase. That's why it's important for you to store your recovery phrase. So you want to click on import wallet on this section if you already created an account. All right. Can you guys still see me? Can someone type in the chat if you can still see me? All right. Hopefully you can still see the screen. And we're still, okay, perfect. Thank you, Sin. Thank you. All right. So by clicking on import wallet, you're able to go ahead and copy and paste those seed phrase into that particular section, and it will automatically regenerate that wallet that you've had in another device, okay? So that is the ability that MetaMask as well as other wallets give you to recreate your bank, right? Because you don't want to start afresh. You want to be able to continuously gain access to your to your wallet. And that's why those seed phrase or secret recovery phrase or your private key is very important. Okay. So as I mentioned before, MetaMask does connect to third-party sites. So you want to make sure that when you're going to those third-party sites and when you're giving access to being able to connect to those third-party sites, that you trust those third-party sites, okay? So OpenSea is a platform that a lot of people use in order to be able to collect and sell their NFTs, okay? So, by having your MetaMask extension already on your browser, it automatically registers that there's a MetaMask extension or another wallet, and you click on, the ones that you do have stored there, and it will connect. And that connection is so long as you allow it, okay? And what that means is that you have to manually accept that connection, and you also have to manually disconnect from that third-party site. So be cognizant. And that's why, it's important to understand that these wallets that are able to be created online, they're hot wallets for a particular reason. They are connected to the internet. And so therefore, by having that connection, it's able for it to be connected to several different sites. And also it's able to, it's giving it access to, potential nefarious individuals as well. So you want to be cognizant about that. You don't want to store a lot of money in this MetaMask, okay? It is transactional for a purpose. So if you have like $100, I would say put $20 that in that transactional wallet or MetaMask wallet, and that's what you're using to purchase your transaction, your assets, right? So you don't want to put all of the $100 in that transactional wallet. If you guys recall, if you've been here since day one, or maybe even since International Women's Day, you will recall that there was an artist that basically said that her wallet was hacked. Someone gained access to her seed phrase, and they were able to take control of her wallet. All of the NFTs that she created, which was used with that wallet and attached to that wallet, was no longer in her possession because someone else gained access to it. Even though she had that recovery phrase still in her possession, if a third party gained access to that recovery phrase, it's no longer yours. They have access to everything, right? Even though you may still maintain the ability to go into the wallet, etc., you just don't want to interact with that wallet because you never know what they intend to do with it. So she counted her losses. One thing that she kept stressing was that in her MetaMask that was connected to that account, she did not have a lot of money. Something told her to take a majority of her asset, the proceeds that she gained from her NFTs, to take majority of them out and put it in her hardware wallet, which just happened to be a ledger. So that was smart of her. So she only had a small amount of money in that transactional wallet, her MetaMask wallet, and maintained majority of her money in her hardware wallet, which was her ledger, which is your custodial wallet, okay? Because it's in your custody. And so that was smart of her. So even though she lost access to her NFTs, she only lost a small amount of money in assets. So, she found saving grace in that. She was able to recreate another account, which, is beneficial away from that particular seed phrase. She was able to go through the process and create a whole new wallet. Now, one thing that MetaMask does allow you to do is create several different accounts. And when I mean accounts, this is account number one. If I wanted to, I could create an account number two. So by clicking on create account, I'm creating account number two. I'm going to change the name and just put it as, I'll just leave it as that. And you guys will be able to see that that account has been created. Now, this account has a different public address, but one thing that it shares with the first account is the fact that they share the same secret recovery phrase. So if you have several different accounts under one secret recovery phrase, mind you, if someone steals that secret recovery phrase, they have access to all of your accounts, okay? So make sure that secret recovery phrase is secure. So this is my second account, which is named Test. And this account, I can decide to put $10 out of that $100. So the first account has $20, this account has $10, et cetera, et cetera. The good thing about doing that is, one, you're diversifying your assets, your cryptos within several different accounts, so that way, because your accounts are viewable on a public ledger, we can go to etherscan.io to look at any one of these accounts and look at the transactions of any one of these accounts. Because we're able to do that, if someone knows that this is your public address, they have access to copy and paste that public address and put it into a blockchain, a ledger, right? And be able to identify how much assets you have in that particular ledger. And so, and if they see that you're holding $100,000, then now guess what? You are a target, because they want to be able to gain access to that $100,000. So, one other security steps that people do is spread their money around so that it doesn't look like they have a lot of money. However, the ultimate suggestion would be to only maintain a small amount, and majority of your assets should be on your hardware wallet. And even though I'm showing you the ledger, is just how happens to be what I use. There is Trezor that's out there, and there's several others. So I would say do your own due diligence, find out which one is best for you. I'm going to see if there's any other questions. If there's questions, just let me know. Is this the only valid case that one would give their seed phrase? Let me see. Can you give me a little bit of context, because I'm trying to figure out exactly what you mean. Very helpful. Is this the only valid case that one would give their seed phrase? I'm trying to figure out exactly what context that question came from before I answered it. So Sin, if you can repeat that, please. So many scams on the internet. Folks are asking for your seed phrase. Yep. Never give your seed phrase. Never give your seed phrase. If someone is asking your seed phrase, say why. Seriously, why? Why do you need access to that information? Because remember, your seed phrase is only supposed to be in your possession, right? Even if you're going through estate planning, don't share that information with anybody, right? Only give access to your seed phrase to your trusted family member. If you know that individual understands the space, understand the importance of keeping that information safe, and you can trust them with that amount of assets that you've created by navigating through this space. So her question was, she was asked for seed phrase when putting MetaMask on her phone. Yes. Okay, so this is a good question. So, as a cybersecurity person, I tend to have my own personal opinion about putting something like this on your phone. I don't do it because I know how vulnerable phones can be. You can lose your phone. You can drop your phone. You can crack your phone, and then, you may have to take it to someone to repair the screen. You may have some manufacturing defects and you have to trade it in and all these things. You don't want that type of information on your phone, right? So my biggest suggestion is for people to think twice about storing your bank, right, on your phone. So if your phone is asking for the secret recovery phrase because you've download the MetaMask app and you want to connect it to the one that you have on your desktop, think twice about that, right? It's not the route that I would strongly suggest. But however, if you're comfortable with it, then yes, it will ask, because guess what? You're recreating the same wallet on a different device. That's essentially what you're doing. Okay. But my suggestion is to never store never have your wallets on your phone, right? I don't strongly recommend that. I actually strongly oppose to that, for various reasons. As we know nowadays, there are what is it called? SIM card swapping, where someone can gain access to your SIM number, and purchase a new phone, call your service provider and tell them that you want to swap your SIM card into this new phone. And that's going on. That's prevalent nowadays, right? And so whatever information and access you have on that phone is now transferred to a whole new phone that you don't have control over, right? So you want to make sure that you keep that in mind. Our phone is the most vulnerable pieces of technology that we do own. We are able to carry it everywhere. So many different things have happened to it. We dropped it so many different times, etc. But then now we also have the potential issue of SIM card swapping as well. So you want to make sure that you think twice about storing your wallet or gaining access to your wallet through your phone. I know it's easier for a lot of people because we take our phone everywhere, but don't get comfortable with doing that. Now my sister is texting me as well. I'm trying to see if if she has any questions as well. So if someone was to ask you for your seed phrase, don't give them. Like, there's no reason someone should ask you for your seed phrase unless you're trying to recover your seed phrase. And a person should not ask you. As you can see, I walk you through where on the platform you can go and recover your seed phrase. So in this whole step that I've done, there is no individual that we have to go and talk to. It's all created by design for you to be able to navigate through this space by yourself. There is no customer service that's going to contact you. No one should be asking for your seed phrase. It's not your seed phrase that they need access to, is your public address. And the public address is something that, as I mentioned, it's basically your home address. The home address is how they locate you, how they send money to you. They don't need access to your wallet, okay? And by giving them your seed phrase, you're essentially giving them your entire access to your wallet. You're giving them your house key, and you don't give just anybody your house key, okay? So I really can't think of a scenario where someone will be asking you for your seed phrase. And as you can see throughout this process, MetaMask even gives us in several different places, even in a video, that no one will be asking from MetaMask for your secret recovery phrase. Okay, so there is no scenario that I can think of that's going to happen. If I think of something, I will correct myself in the Discord, and the following day I will make sure that I put it out there. But as of right now, none that I can think of. Any other question? Okay. All right. If there's no other question, I'm really happy that you guys were able to join and walk through this process. Make sure, after you've gone through and connected your wallets, that you also disconnect, right? So we can disconnect. We can disconnect by going into connected sites, okay? So this particular account, which is the second account, is not connected to any sites, which is great, okay? Now I'm going to click on the first account, which I believe I did connect to OpenSea. Okay, perfect. So as I mentioned, I did connect to OpenSea, and I did stress the fact that we are the one that manually gives access to a third-party sites, and we're also the one that has to disconnect from a third-party site. So in this situation for account number 1, I did connect to OpenSea in order for you guys to be able to see that process. But now I don't need OpenSea anymore. There's no reason for me to continuously connect to them. So I'm going to go ahead and disconnect. And it's as simple as just clicking on disconnect. Okay. So that way, next time I go into OpenSea, it's going to walk me through that initial process again. Okay. All right, everyone. I'm going to start wrapping up. If you guys don't have any questions, I think this was, hopefully this was very helpful, and it gave you insight into creating wallets, what the difference are between a transactional wallet, a hardware wallet, a custodial wallet, difference between a transactional wallet and a custodial wallet, difference between a hot wallet and a cold wallet, as well as, some security ideas or concepts or steps that you should take when navigating through this space. Once again, it's very much important that you guys understand wallets and creating those wallets, because whether you're traveling through this space as a cryptocurrency, a collector or purchaser, NFT collector or participant, or an artist who's creating their own NFT, you're participating in DAOs, decentralized autonomous organizations, or DeFis, you're always going to need your wallet. And to have that solid foundation of wallets is very much important. So this was just a walkthrough of MetaMask wallets. There's several different wallets out there. As I mentioned, MetaMask is part of the Ethereum cycle or ecosystem. There are other wallets for different chains as well. The Ethereum has several different altcoins that are attached to that particular ecosystem. And so there is one that I want to quickly walk you through, which is called Phantom Wallet, and that's Solana. So Phantom is like Phantom of the Opera, so PHANTOM.app. And same thing, you go through that process of downloading, and once you click on download, it will automatically try to figure out which desktop browser you're on. And with that browser, you can go ahead and click on one of the browsers that you're on and be able to download that particular Phantom wallet. When you download it, just like the MetaMask, it will download as an extension. So you will see a Phantom, this symbol right here, you will see it as an extension to your desktop, and you'll be able to go into it. I will try to come back and walk you through Phantom one of these days before the event ends. But I do want to encourage all of you to continue watching us. Tomorrow we have Self-Care Sunday. And for Self-Care Sunday, we will find out ways to just relax, to focus on our mind, and to breathe. So we have another great speaker that's going to come and talk about how to recenter ourselves and think about our mental health. And then we start all over again with Mind Your Money Monday with Nigel Roberts and talk about cryptocurrencies. We're going to do NFT Tuesdays, which is NFTs, of course, non-fungible tokens. So you get insight into that entire space, as well as visuals of the different type of NFTs that these ladies are creating. Wednesday is Worldwide Wednesdays. And for Worldwide Wednesdays, it's all about Web3. It's all about community. So we're going to have more panel discussions, more individuals to come and talk about what they're working on. Thursdays is Table Talk Thursdays. And on Thursdays, we get time to unwind and connect more with our pioneers in this space. Get to understand what they're bringing. And this particular Thursday, man, I have lined up. It's all about healthcare, okay? we are going to have some featured speakers who are creating and building in this space. So we definitely have individuals that will come and talk about how blockchain and what we're creating here relates and ties to the healthcare and medicine field. So I'm really excited about that. On Friday, Futuristic Friday, we're back with Nicole, and she's going to walk us through some great metaverse experiences and get an insight into the different type of individuals that are participating in the space. And then we'll start all over again with Super Sponsor Saturday. So I want to thank everyone for joining us. Really appreciate it. I want to let you all know that we'll continue the discussion in Discord. So join us in our Discord. Replays. Thank you for asking the questions about replays. Replays are available in our Discord. We have week 1 and some of week 2 out. We intentionally are delaying the replays because, as you all know, it is a paid event. It's $25 to tap in to not only this event to connect with the speakers and also to jump into our Discord for the various opportunities. Those of you that heard from Copper Seed Safe earlier today, you all know that Dean has been active in the Discord, and he also has posted a link where you can get 40% off. So make sure you tap into that. We get a lot of different opportunities in this space, and the Discord is a place where you can network with people, create community, tap into the opportunities that are there. So we want to encourage you all to join. Hopefully today was very valuable and you were able to walk away with some knowledge, information, and some great ways to secure yourself as you're building your wealth in this space and you're navigating through this blockchain ecosystem. My name is Yinka Odenaran. I want to thank you all for joining and have a good one, everyone. Enjoy your Saturday. Bye.